Well, good afternoon, folks. Back to the channel. Thought I'd dig out this, the old Citadel journal, 1987. Yeah, this was one of the early pieces of backup stuff that I started to read from Games Workshop Citadel to do with the games, and I think this one's one of the classic ones. I think you'll find it's got things in that people my age, this is the bee's knees. So we'll open it up and go all the way through. Then you've got your contents. You've got your Balrog, Regiments of Renown, which was the big thing of this year. They'd swapped from the first edition and started adding first edition figures and started adding extra editions. So you've got your second incarnation of Bugman's Dwarf Rangers and your Skeleton Nightmare Legion. That's a plastic skeleton horde, very famous at the time, and everybody I think bought one. Your Machines of Destruction, your Dragons, Competition, Colour, Dioramas, something to do with Warhammer there, Grim Reaper, or Grim's Reaper, photo features, compendium editions, and Caleb Dark, which was a licensed figure, if I remember rightly. But yeah, you'll be going through here, look, and it's the old, let me zoom in if I can. Yeah, the old Lord of the Rings range from mid to late 80s. Yeah, very inspirational picture at the time that was. And that showed you the contents of the box. So yeah, and then you go over here, look, and you've got Bugman's Dwarf Rangers. Yeah, love those figures, still do. Excellent stuff. And then you go through and you've got the Skeleton Legion. Again, for those that you did undead, I think there was a definite, get along with the plastic skeletons at the time. But yeah, it's bringing back memories. This is, you've got also your stats as well. This was for second edition, if I remember rightly. So yeah, give all your points values, uniform details. These at the time, I think for me was invaluable for information that you got, that were very, very in touch with the customer fan base. And then we've got lovely pictures, very good for the time, inspirational to youngsters and people in the late teens or even people older. Then you've got all your Machines of Destruction there. I had the Chariot at the top when I was younger. I ain't got a clue where it's gone now. Always wanted the Elven Chariot, but never got it, unfortunately. But yeah, I remember these being out in the boxes. Picture on the front in the black box. Yeah, really, really nice stuff. Then you've got all your bumps, all about them, the rules, all your stats and everything. So your Man Mangler, Elven Attack Chariot. Then you got all the dragons that were out at the time. Yeah, all your different types of dragons and all the stats and all the things to do with them at the backgrounds. Competitions, Chaos Knight competition to draw one. Used to be a lot of these. I think there was one on banners once and shield designs. Yeah. Then you got the paints that were out in the first two box sets. I ended up, 3 box sets, sorry. I ended up getting these. So we'll find out probably in the back how much they cost at the time. So then your Golden Demon. That was pretty cool. And here we go. Some of the eye-catching stuff that we used to have, many moons ago. For me at the time, these were the bee's knees. Really good stuff. And then you got the dwarves here against ogres and various different things, and chaos. So some of the famous imperial dwarves, feudal style. I always loved those as well. So nice bit of foam work, melted foam. How they got that to do that, we're at it all. Melting and getting it in the right place. Amazing. And here we go. Trolls nicking eggs, or trying to smash eggs up with a dragon. And orcs and goblins. Some snotlings as well. And here you go. This is the range of figures that got me, really. The two ranges of figures that got me into... Well, there's actually three ranges on here. That got me into Warhammer big style. It was the feudal range, the Viking range, and then you've got the later feudal range down here, the ones in plate armour. Really, really got me into it. There's several pictures around from this period. But I think all these were painted by Colin Dixon, if I remember rightly. It's this is the one that got me into it. Or these ranges got me into fantasy. And has also started me down the old nostalgia trip to do a Norse army. I've got an unofficial list from an old Citadel journal. I got that printed out when we used to go down to Lenton a lot, and it had got 4th edition out. Possibly 5th edition, I can't remember. But there are lists for that, which I've got. So, that is just, for me at the time, that really grabbed me by my bits and made me want to get into it. And here we go. These were all the rules at the time. So you've got your 2nd edition box set. Bloodbath at Orcs Drift, I've got that. No longer got the buildings, unfortunately. It's another one of those iconic things that I'd love to play. I've got the rules for this time, but I wonder if there's some way you can make it work for 4th or 5th. That'd be really interesting. Then you got Macbeth, of which I've got. Again, not got the card buildings, but it's always one of those other things that I'd love to do. Got quite a few of the models, missing some of the key ones. But, And then you have Terror of the Leashmaster and Blood on the Streets. So these give you extra buildings and scenarios for the rules. Then we come to the painted section. These are done by the studio staff and people that worked there at the time. 87 wasn't the start of my journey in Citadel. But I think around this time, 85 to 87, maybe up to 89, was for me the big thing. Some of these were out maybe a little bit earlier, but I can't quite remember. It's a bit vague, but it's all this period that got me really into the Citadel side of the hobby. And here we go, we got chaos and undeads, goblin fanatics, ogres, more ogres, Bugman's Rangers, Tin Man. There were strange things like that came out. Then more dwarves and Empire style, but they weren't known as Empire then, if I remember rightly, or it was just coming in. Some of the gorgeous feudal dwarves, chaos dwarves. I remember them coming out as a box set. So, and here we go. Some of the fighters. Now, there's a fair few on here that are available from Wargames Foundry. So if you don't want to pay eBay prices, get over to Wargames Foundry and have a good look at their site. And they do have an ex-Citadel section on the Wargames Foundry. So yeah, if you're after some of these, get on over there. And come in packs of, I think, 5 or 6, maybe a few more, for about £16, I think. But don't quote me as that being right, I'm not 100% sure. Then here you go, look, Lords of Battle, Paladins, and the Barbarians. Now, these are available from Foundry. There's quite a large range. I think there's about 4 packs, all with different names, of course, but they're under the Citadel section in Foundry. And then you got the Normans at the top, which Foundry have. Again, cracking models. You know, not quite right in style, but yeah, they were a big thing. And then they've got old Vikings. And look how gorgeous they are. These are available from Foundry, so you don't have to pay eBay prices for slaughter base. The feudal men at arms, another cracking set of figures, again from Foundry, if you want them. The Barbarian Raiders, again, they're from Foundry. If you want to get any more of them. The Marauder figures, we're never into chaos, really. Feudal Knights, absolutely corking set of figures. They're quite inspirational at the time for me. Yeah, they're now available through Wargames Foundry. Chaos Champions. Cool, blimey. I mean, the thing I liked about this journal, it gave you everything that that tempted you. You got all the latest releases really put into one place. You got scenarios. You got, oh yes, the Ninja. Again, they're available from Foundry if you don't want to pay full price. Yeah, it was really inspirational. You got everything. Yeah, it was like a catalogue, but at the time it was, yeah, it gave you the information. You didn't have to wait for things to be coming out. You got hints that they were coming. I think for me, this was the best time. You know, with the salespersons at, the shop we used to go to, Chris Arbery, ended up working for Game Shop. But he'd whet your appetite by telling you, yeah, well, these will be coming relatively soon, or these are possibly coming. So it was good. You knew where you were, with things coming out. But yeah, you go the Imperial Dwarves, cracking set again. I mean, there are a lot more than these, and these were just the ones that they photographed and were out roughly around that time. But yeah, for me, like I keep saying, it was the heyday for me. Your skeletons, the old trolls, goblins, orc boar riders, the first in contact, first set of them and what they look like. Goblin wolf riders. Here we go, look. Pair of bolt thrower dwarf bazooka team. Giant ogres. I mean, these are Jess Goodwins and they still stand the test of time, to be fair. Your monsters that you needed. Villagers and townsfolk, ideal for roleplay games and scenarios that were out at the time. Imperial Space Marines, look. Had Womble Marines, the early ones. And then you got your Caleb Dark, like a cartoon, is comic style. Yeah, really good. Alright if you're into your chaos. And I think there was a couple of, I'm not 100% sure, I think there were a couple of these style things to do with Caleb Dark. But again, it gave you a bit of a background and things that you needed to know about him. Yeah, really good stuff. Hang on, what we got next? Yeah, lots more stuff to do, Kit. Oh, the artwork. It's absolutely At the time, you know, your standard comic style stuff, but again, you won't get that now. So there were the figures for it. Look, 3 sets of foot mounted. Yeah, absolutely cracking. Metal shields, look, coming soon. You see, this is when it was good. You knew what was coming relatively soon. They gave you the hints. You know, and now for the prices at the time, look, there ain't no way you're going to get these prices back. Colour paint set, cheaper than I can remember. I thought they were about £9.95, but they're £5.95. Now all your full colour box sets. Everything that was in the journal. Yeah, your compendium editions. All figures at right, look. There you go, look. 4 figures for £1.95. 5 figures for £1.95. Now I remember them. I think when they first got swapped over to slot bases, they were £1.50 for 5 or 4. You know, the knights, look. 2 horses, 2 riders for £2.50. What they're going for on eBay now? Stupid price. There you go, look. All the things that have been featured and the prices for them. More information about ordering, I believe. So if it keeps going out of focus. But yeah. And then these were the old compendiums and journals. £1.95 and £1.50. Compendiums. 95p and £1.95. It's just mad, isn't it? Yeah. So there you go, folks. Absolutely amazing. Lovely artwork on the front as well. And the rear. Yeah. If we go back to the back, I have both of those journals as well. So leave comments down below if you'd like to see me, or all 3 of those journals, if you'd like to see me do this again with these journals. So folks, thank you very much for tuning in. For those of you who like the old Citadel figures, I hope this takes you on a trip down memory lane. Also, you lot that are fairly new, tripping over my tongue, to Citadel Games Workshop. This shows you what we went through as youngsters. Yeah, good trip down memory lane. So I'll wrap it up there, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this, and see you all soon, or speak to you all soon. Oh, if you got this far, thank you very much. I'd like you to do the normal things. Please like, subscribe, hit your notification button so you know you're going to get future videos from this channel. And most of all, thank you to all those that have subscribed, especially in the last few days. It really means a lot. It gives me the inspiration to do more. So once again, this is Dale from Painting Outlaw Studios. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for viewing. Cheers, folks. Bye.